Hark and behold, for it is once more time for the eternally enduring NoobTube Modcast, exquisitely hosted by the elegant and eloquent Jamslaver, the eclectic extravagant himself, Sunflower, and the ever-energetic and effervescent Locke.
I've been playing Red Faction Guerrilla on the Xbox 360.
Red Faction Monkeys. How was that? How was that treating you?
It's surprising me because I expected a first-person shooter much like the other two. However, it is an open-world sandbox game, which I guess I really shouldn't have expected because I did play the demo, if you guys remember.
Yes, we all played the demo.
But it was just, it's very open-world. You would like to say GTA style. There are activities for you to do. If you're destroying a building, you're doing some good. There's always a sense of progression. Each section of the map that you're in has a certain amount of control by the EDF, which is the Earth Defense Force, which is basically crazy-ass policemen that kill people.
Okay.
There you go. That's
Nice.
pretty basic fare. The story's okay so far. I mean, it's nothing too special, and I'm sure it's just not going to be...
You blow up
obtrusive,
Mars, essentially. That's what it is.
Basically, you visit your brother, and your brother gets killed by those guys, and well, I want revenge. This is bullshit. So you pick up your sledgehammer and go to work. There are little encampments, little safe houses, and like I was saying, each region has a different amount of control. Now, you can reduce the control in that area by either doing missions that are near that area. There's some destruction missions, some courier missions, and also guerrilla missions, which will appear, hey, there's a convoy coming to fuck up our safe house, stop them on the way. Now, the best part about this is that none of this is required. You don't have to do any of that, which is nice, because if you're getting sick of defending your safe house against, 20 soldiers, you don't have to do it anymore. It'll be okay. You're not going to lose it. It's not like a neighborhood in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas that you will lose and you won't get money. It's in your best interest to help out normally because it reduces their amount of control, but also it reduces their amount of control. And this control is also shown off by how much the EDF responds to what you do. If you go and take out a high-profile building, you're going to have tons of people, but if you take out all the small buildings around it first, then strike the big one, there will be less people. It's just
that's pretty smart.
A much smarter thing.
So it actually has an
way to
effect
do
on the
things.
game.
Yeah, so taking out buildings, if you see a building on your HUD that's in red, you can reduce it a little bit. If it's got a little icon showing that it's an actual, outpost used by the EDF, then that's going to be worth a little bit more, and you improve morale in your sector as well when you reduce the control. Now, the morale, what that does is if you are in a populated area and the EDF decide to take a shot at you, or vice versa, some of the population will pick up guns and help with you.
Oh,
which is
that's
nice.
Cool.
You can screw that up. If you kill them, they will get a little demoralized, which, makes perfect sense. If you die, you get a little bit of morale drop, but it's a very small penalty for death, which is awesome. I love that.
That's nice.
So,
it sounds like it's
in place.
It sounds like it's quite a lot of managing, sort of metagame concepts like morale and control and stuff, but how's the actual gameplay itself? How are you feeling
It's actually very good. I've had a couple minor glitches, which... with a engine like GeoMod 2.0 where you can destroy almost anything except for the ground underneath you, of course, and some rock formations, it's going to be really hard to troubleshoot that properly, and every once in a while I'd roll a car and get out of it and I'd be inside of a rock, but eventually it would just pop me up. I mean, it was not an issue, really. There was an incident where I drove a car through a building, and, it's the damnedest temptation as you're driving. You see a building that's red, and you're on your way to a mission, and you're like, man,
fuck it.
I could probably break this building up. So it's real hard not to jerk the steering wheel and plow through it. But this is one of the buildings I did plow through. And I got this metal girder stuck with, a very minor glitch, again, in my car. So I was driving around with it thinking it would fall off, and it hadn't yet. And I drove too close to this gas station. And what was really neat was, it's like going down the supermarket aisle with your arm open, knocking all canned goods off. It just tore through them. And I was like, oh wow, that, I was surprised that it had the collision detection on that girder, I was really impressed with that. But the gameplay's good. The gunplay's not the greatest thing in the world, but it also is not a problem. It's definitely competent. I've made it to the point where I'm using an arc welder, which shoots lightning in a short range, but I fry like 4 people
lightning
at a time.
is always good.
Oh, whatever. That's ridiculous.
Welcome to the club.
But I'm having a real good time with it because the best parts about this game are the fact that it's not forcing you to do anything. I mean, there are story missions that you'll need to do to finish liberating your sectors, but the way you go about doing that is really up to you. If you like to just cruise around and run into buildings, eventually all the buildings will be gone, and you'll be ready for those missions anyway. Or if you just totally get off on stupid, you must deliver this car to this point in this amount of time. Hey, this is the game for you.
One thing I remember from the demo is when you pick up bits and pieces that have like broken off buildings, it like says that's salvage, which you can use for something. What do you do with that?
Those are used for different upgrades, which is used for things like carrying more ammunition of a certain type, buying a different gun. And the thing is that they're making all these guns, since they are a guerrilla faction, they're not buying them. So you get guns that are being assembled out of whatever the hell they have handy, which is why the salvage works, is because you're grabbing whatever they have handy. So
metal.
It's really cool like that. You know, I got some new armor, and I decided to really go with carrying more rockets for my rocket launcher, because that seems to be a pretty important thing. It was a real kind of an awakening once I got the rocket launcher and I spent the money, because I had to work for it. I worked hard. And now I don't have to run up to a silo and knock out the bottom with a sledgehammer anymore, or drive through it. I can do it from far away and then haul ass, get away from it. So that was a big bonus. I hear rumors of this jetpack that I can't wait to use.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
It's going to be exciting. Now, I haven't played the game online yet.
Yeah.
Which
I want to, I think this game is probably going to be the next on my list after I finished Infamous, so I will be up for trying that with you.
It's really an enjoyable, well, if I still have it, I'm going to send it back since my 360 red ring today, right before the modcast.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, that's okay though. I got other stuff to play, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Just none of it's nearby. So that'll be okay, and it really is an excellent game. I can definitely recommend this as a rental, no contest. If you really do enjoy open world sandboxes, then you've got a winner on your hands with this. It feels like Total Recall, where you can break everything. Any
problems with the game that you can think of?
Yeah, the load times.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it, but it's really such a small thing. I mean, load times.
Now,
they're not that much longer than normal. They do seem a little bit extended. When you fail a mission, it has to load to get you back to the point.
Okay.
Then you accept the mission, and it loads that, and the autosave seems to take a little while, but that is really the only flaw I've noticed in the game, is the load times.
But what about when you're driving, like, is there load times popping up when it's trying to render?
No, it's a seamless world.
Okay, that's fine.
Excellent game, though. Definitely going to be overlooked because of that stupid lightning game that you guys are playing. But this game definitely deserves to be played. Definitely.
Well, it sounds like you're shooting Lightning 2 just on Mars instead of Empire City, so.
I'm not interested in Empire City yet.
That's fine. You just keep
I've
blowing
got the
up
demo
shit.
sitting there. I just haven't done it yet.
Are there any 3-tittied women?
Not to my knowledge.
Really? Come on,
Really?
man.
Get your ass to Mars.
Get your ass to Mars.
They did have this really interesting segment in the game, which seemed almost like stealth. It was kind of tense. They had me follow this guy, which is called a Marauder, which is not a normal human. I don't know what they are. I'm sure if I read the documentation, they would
That's
have
a
told.
mech.
What?
It's a mech from Mech Warrior, isn't it? A Marauder.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But these are also people. Anyway.
Oh, cool.
So
Okay.
I followed them, and they went into like some hologram rock formation, and I went to these old ruins of a Ultor Corporation, which cracks me up that they called it Ultor, because Volition also did, I believe, Saints Row 1. When they have, you got nothing out of you guys?
No,
Saints
I
Row
know.
1?
I'm following you.
I didn't play. Ultor Corporation sounds familiar though.
Yeah, it's the name of the business in Saints Row.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I found that pretty funny. But I'm looking around in there, and it's just got this really kind of like a Mass Effect feel, where you're exploring these new things and you're not really sure what you're going to come across. It was really cool because it had me go up this abandoned building that had been torn down in some spots and everything, and I had to get creative with my hammer to get there. But then all of a sudden I'm at the top of the building, and people show up and they're like, "Get the hell out of there." I just start hitting the hammer below me, and I drop like 8 stories.
Oh,
At a time.
awesome.
I was like,
That's
screw
cool.
this.
The reason it sounds familiar to me is because Ultor Corporation is the corporation from the first Red Faction.
Oh, see.
That too. Well, no wonder.
See, it's
Which
this-
would explain why these are ruins, and I'm looking
Yeah.
for older technology.
Yeah.
Well, if I had just done my research. But excellent game. I can highly recommend this. I can't wait till my 360 gets fixed so I can play it some more.
Right on.
Cool.